Dear students, let us begin with the third part of the lesson on India and the United Nations, in which we will discuss about India's stance on climate change and sustainable development and India's demand for a permanent seat in United Nations Security Council. India, as the third largest emitter of carbon dioxide globally, has taken significant steps to reduce its emissions. The country ratified the Paris Agreement on 2nd October 2016, demonstrating its dedication to controlling greenhouse gas emissions. India has also endorsed the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in 1993 and the Kyoto Protocol in 2002. The Government of India has implemented a comprehensive approach to tackle climate change, including the adoption of a National Action Plan on Climate Change and the establishment of a National Mission for Green India. These initiatives reflect India's proactive stance in addressing environmental challenges and promoting sustainable practices. India's commitment extends to the 2030 agenda encompassing the Sustainable Development Goals. The country's national development goals, encapsulated in the principles of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, align harmoniously with the SDGs, emphasizing inclusive development for a better and sustainable future. The United Nations actively collaborates with India to achieve its ambitions of poverty alleviation, reducing inequality and promoting sustainable development. Approximately 26 UN agencies are engaged in India, working collectively towards these developmental objectives. UN agencies, including the Food and Agricultural Organization, have partnered with the Indian government to address food security challenges and eradicate poverty. Food and Agricultural Organization extends support through various means, including agricultural education, advanced research, biotechnologies, hybrid rice production, plant quarantine facilities, integrated pest management, desert locust control, and technical assistance to national dairy development, enhancing milk production. UN initiatives, notably the UN World Food Programme, play a vital role in assisting the Indian government in combating issues such as poverty, hunger, malnutrition, and illiteracy. These efforts primarily target vulnerable groups, including tribals, women, and children from all parts of the country. Additionally, UN agencies provide support for strengthening agriculture and poverty eradication programs like the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and the National Rural Livelihoods Mission. WHO, UNAIDS, UNICEF, and other agencies partner with the Indian government, ensuring accessible and affordable healthcare services, especially during health crises. During the COVID-19 surge, the UN provided vital support, delivering essential equipment, testing devices, PPE kits, and financial aid. WHO aided in establishing mobile hospital units and laboratories, enhancing patient care. UN agencies such as UNIFEM, UNDP, UNICEF, and UN Women have played a pivotal role in advancing gender equality. Their efforts encompass ending violence against women, promoting women's leadership, ensuring gender inclusive development, empowering women economically, and involving women as global peace builders and negotiators. These agencies have also made significant contributions to maternal health, female contraception, and population control initiatives, fostering a comprehensive approach to women's well-being and reproductive health. Let us discuss about India's demand for permanent seat in United Nations Security Council. India, alongside G4 countries, has been advocating for the reform of the United Nations, especially the restructuring of the Security Council. Despite the UN's membership increasing from 51 to 193, the composition of the UN Security Council remains stagnant since 1945. The UNSC, comprising 15 members, including 5 permanent members with veto power and 10 non-permanent members, lacks equitable regional representation. Currently, China is the only Asian country represented, while Europe has 3 permanent members, leaving Africa, Latin America and the Caribbean underrepresented. India emphasizes the need for balanced enlargement of both permanent and non-permanent UN Security Council members. It argues for fair representation of Africa in both categories. India, along with like-minded nations, advocates for the abolition of the veto power or its extension to all, aiming to prevent its misuse by P5 nations. Recent events such as Russia's veto against a resolution on its attack on Ukraine highlight the challenges posed by the veto power. India, in alignment with other nations, continues to raise its voice against this practice to ensure a more democratic and inclusive UN Security Council. India actively engages in various UN initiatives and significantly contributes to peace-building efforts. Its economic strength, large population, military capabilities, cultural diversity and civilizational legacy serve as qualifications for a permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council. The UN Charter acknowledges that countries making substantial contribution to the organization should be Security Council members. India's status as the world's most populous nation strengthens its claim. Gaining a permanent seat would enhance India's global influence and power in international decision making, solidifying its position on the global stage. Despite India's qualifications, challenges arise from China's existing veto power and opposition from groups like the Coffee Club, hindering India's path to permanent UN Security Council membership. These hurdles remain significant obstacles in India's pursuit of a permanent seat. Let us summarize what we have discussed so far in this lesson. Despite disagreements about the UN's structure, India remains committed to the organization as a founding member. India recognizes the UN's potential in ensuring international peace and security. India has actively collaborated with the UN on various global challenges, including terrorism, disarmament, human rights, peacekeeping and women empowerment. However, India emphasizes the need for UN reforms, believing that the organization must evolve to fulfill its purpose effectively. India advocates for UN reforms, including its own permanent membership in the Security Council. Acquiring a permanent seat would enhance India's global influence and decision-making power. Despite these aspirations, challenges arise from regional powers like China and Pakistan, posing obstacles to India's quest for a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. I hope you understood what we discussed about India and the United Nations. We have concluded our lesson. Thank you.